it should help at least guide advisors towards, okay, well, this one's allowed. Bitcoin's fine. It's all this other stuff that, the SEC is unsure about right now.
And you also bring out a very important point that maybe our listeners aren't so aware of, the differentiation that the SEC is speaking about with Bitcoin because it's decentralized, considering it more like a commodity, and then everything else, which would
Yep.
be more centralized. I don't know if you'd like to speak to that at all, or what you say about cryptocurrency in general versus Bitcoin when you're talking to the people that you're advising.
Yeah, it's made it easier on me, to be honest, because first of all, look, I'm Bitcoin only. I only want my clients to be Bitcoin only. The fact that there is, it's possible that all these other things are unregistered securities makes my job really easy. It's just like, look, Bitcoin's not. All this other stuff is. I don't know what's going to go on there. I can't advise you on that. You shouldn't be messing around in it anyways. And so it gives it an extra, it makes it a lot easier for sure, I would say, in my practice, to help people be like, hey, look at Bitcoin only. There's other reasons why I think Bitcoin people should be Bitcoin only, obviously, other than, it's not an unregistered security. But I think from that perspective, it should help at least guide advisors towards, okay, well, this one's allowed. Bitcoin's fine. It's all this other stuff that, the SEC is unsure about right now. And so at the very least, I should learn about Bitcoin, figure out what it is and whether or not it belongs in a client portfolio, and then I'll worry about all this other stuff later. And so, from the client perspective too, I mean, we brought that up, but we've also just brought up the fact that like every other coin is basically centralized. I mean, that's why it's even up in the air about whether or not it's security. If
Right.
it's centralized, then how different is it really from your day-to-day dollar usage? And just comparing like what fiat is versus what some of these other cryptocurrencies are, and how Bitcoin is really actually different, and why that's a diversifier in your portfolio. So in some ways, like the SEC's kind of helped me of my job, helped me with
Yeah.
my job in that regard.
Yeah.
In other ways, obviously, like the lack of clarity does make it such that other advisors are scared to jump into the space, and they're not exactly sure what to do, and their compliance departments aren't sure what to do. And it does create this barrier where there are people, plenty of people out there who use financial advisors who have legitimate questions about this asset class, and they can't get straight answers from their advisors. So
Yes.
I would say in that regard, no, they're obviously not helping people by, protecting them, quote unquote.
Hey, it's Amy. Click over here to subscribe, click over here for more content, and we'll see you next time.